Hello students, you're welcome to LODLC lecture series. This is for day one for Nigerian economy, and this video is for study session 9, monetary and fiscal policies of the Nigerian economy. Well, you know what monetary is, and you might actually know what fiscal is. However, policies guide Nigerian economy, and at the end of the day, you will see why we have to use policy to guide Nigerian economy. At the end of this study session, you should be able to do the following. 1. Define the term monetary policy. 2. Explain the strategies of monetary policy in Nigeria. And 3. Itemize the instruments of monetary policy. Yeah, what do we mean by monetary policy? Monetary policy refers to the specific actions taken by the central bank to regulate the value, supply, and cost of money in the economy with a view to achieving predetermined macroeconomic growth. Like in Nigeria, the Central Bank of Nigeria, like other central banks in developing countries, seeks to achieve price stability through the management of money supply. Money supply comprises of the broad money and the narrow money. The need to regulate money supply is based on the knowledge that there is a relatively stable relationship between the quantity of money supply and the economic activity in the country. And if the supply of money is not limited to what is required to support the productive activities, it will lead to undesirable and unproductive effects in the economy. The objective of monetary policy. In Nigeria, the major objective of monetary policy include the attainment of price stability, that is, to achieve price stability and to sustain economic growth. In pursuing this objective, the Central Bank of Nigeria recognizes the existence of conflicts among objectives necessitating some sort of trade-off. The target of the monetary policy are of the operational target, the intermediate target, and the ultimate target. The bank manipulates the operational target, that is reserve money, over which it has substantial direct control to influence the immediate targets, which is the broad money supply, which has the impact on the ultimate objective of the monetary policy, which is to encourage economic activities and reduce inflation. The stance of monetary policy. Stance actually means the position. So the position of monetary policy refers to either the expansionary or the contractionary actions of the central bank to control the money supply. What do we mean by the expansionary monetary policy? This is a set of actions by the monetary authority to increase the money in the economy. If they realize that there is little money or the money required in the economy is higher than what we have in the economy, they use what they call the expansionary monetary policy to actually make sure that there is more money in the economy, and it is conventionally used to the expansionary monetary policy is conventionally used to stimulate economic activities, most times, most especially during a period of recession, while the contractionary monetary policy is majorly used to actually take the excess money in circulation away from the economy. If this is not done, it will lead to inflation. So the contractionary monetary policy is majorly used to reduce inflationary pressures in the economy. The overview of monetary policy framework. Generally, monetary policy is a tool of general macroeconomic management under the control of the monetary authorities designed to achieve government economic objectives. Government cannot actually achieve their economic objective if they don't actually have a working monetary policy. Monetary policy aims at achieving certain national goals which most countries have historically included full employment, or to reduce the level of unemployment to a minimum, high output, or to increase the output, and a stable price level. That is to actually eradicate or minimize inflation and a stable exchange rate, as this is what would actually give them a desirable balance of payments. Well, The goals are usually achieved directly in or indirectly by the monetary authority, that is the central bank, through its use of the monetary policy instruments. These instruments include the open market operation (OMO), the changes in discount or bank rates. This is what they use in actually determining the monetary base of the bank. And you can actually see what actually happened in Nigeria some years back when the Nigerian government actually increased the capital base of the banks to actually make them more solid. This is an example of them changing the discount or the bank rates and require reserve. That's the minimum account that a commercial bank must actually hold. So, thus, the monetary policy framework generally refers to the institutional arrangement under which monetary policy decisions are made and executed. The factors influencing the choice of monetary policy framework. Well, we have the structural differences, we have the degree of indexation, and we have the institutional arrangements. The structural differences include the structure of the financial sector, the types and the level of debt, and the openness to trade, commodity dependence, and fiscal discipline. While degree of indexation, this is very common with countries with various levels of economic integration, which require different types of indexation. In addition, there are other nominal rigidities that affect the speed of transmission of what? Of monetary policy instrument to inflation. And the third one is institutional arrangements. This refers to the number of institutions making up the monetary policy. Those who actually make the policy, the enabling law, and the data availability and related factors that may influence the way in which the monetary policy responds to macroeconomic development. Thus, in developing a monetary policy, the monetary authorities usually target those values the policymakers want to change. The target could be ultimate. The target could be ultimate, or it could be intermediate. Thus, that is how it is. The strategy of monetary policy in Nigeria. The strategy of monetary policy in Nigeria. The strategy of monetary policy involves modifying the amount of base money in circulation. This process of changing the base money through the sale and the purchase of government security is called open market operation. The target variable is the growth, and the strategies include monetary targeting, the price level targeting, inflation targeting, and the fixed exchange targeting. The monetary targeting, the target variable is the growth of money supply in the economy. Under this framework, the central bank watches very closely the monetary aggregate in order to predict the future size of money supply. If the monetary aggregate was growing too quickly, it could trigger inflational pressures. And if it is not, and this causes, and if this is done, this causes the central bank to raise interest rates in order to halt the growth of money supply in the economy. The other one is the price level targeting. Price level targeting is similar to inflation targeting in that both targets for a price index. However, while inflation targeting only looks forward, which is most likely about 2% on an annual basis, price level targeting actually looks at the price in the past years, the price in the present years, and the price in future. And this is how it is. The third one is inflation targeting. Is a monetary policy in which the central bank estimates and make public a projected or a target inflation rate which they feel is good enough for the economy. Thus, the likely action of the central bank is to raise or reduce the policy rate to become more transparent under the inflation targeting. And the final one is the fixed exchange rate. Fixed exchange rate is majorly used to actually, the value of currency is fixed in relation to another currency or a lot of currencies. This is actually done in order to make sure that the balance of payments is favorable and not deficit. Instruments of monetary policy. Paper money or fiduciary is issued by the central bank based on an estimate of the demand for cash. To conduct the monetary policy effectively, the central bank adjusts the monetary aggregate the policy rate or the exchange rates in order to affect the variables in which it does not control directly. There are some things that the federal government, the central bank has direct control over, and there are some that it doesn't have some control over. Thus, the instruments used are the direct instrument of monetary policy. We have the indirect which is like the exchange rates, and we have the indirect instrument of monetary policy, which we have the prudence guidelines and the moral suasion and other instruments. Thank you very much for listening.